SCENTSY is a multi-level marketing pyramid scheme that's known for its wax melts and its ceramic warmers. You have this little unit where you put a little tea light in there, and then the wax melt goes on the top, and then it melts, and then it gives you nice aroma in your house. Each year, SCENTSY has something called a world tour, and I didn't know what this was. I thought it was similar to Monate, having Monations. A lot of these multi-level marketing companies have a big convention each year, or maybe they have one, more than one each year, but a lot of them have at least one each year. And then all the participants are encouraged to go. They say, if you want to grow your business, get to an event. They'll parade out all these different statistics that people that attended this event are 62% more likely to increase their paychecks, stuff like that. But SCENTSY does something different. I don't think they have one place, like a host city, and then everybody goes. They have a time frame of one-day events all over the world. So I guess wherever you are, you could get to one of these venues. At least that's what I gather from putting this into Facebook. And Meta AI said, the SCENTSY World Tour 2025 is a series of one-day events featuring training, inspiration, and new product displays to help SCENTSY consultants grow their businesses. The tour will visit 52 cities across North America, Europe, Australia, and New Zealand between January 31st and March 1st, 2025. Each event will run from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. local time and include access to new spring/summer 2025 products, training sessions, and giveaways. Registration for the event includes a spirit kit with exclusive products and a workbook. I looked on Facebook to see if I could find any videos about this, and this one came up. I haven't watched it. It's in its entirety. I just skipped around and I got a feel for it. I don't know what this is about. This is going to be essentially a blind reaction. I only saw the first little bit of this, and it was enough for me to select this video to react to. It's about 7 minutes. It starts off in the middle of one of these one-day events. There's somebody on the stage. I don't know who he is. I think he works for SCENTSY. He's yelling. Everybody is really laughing in the audience. You can tell they're just having the time of their lives, and it already starts in with the weirdness. 7 minutes. I don't know how long I'm going to last without having to pause and try to comment. I'm going to try to do my best to let it play as long as I can, but you're going to see what I mean.
7 dozen times. And I was like, I know. I would change it up if I could think of anything else to tell them to prove the point. There's a point to the cucumber story. If any of you can tell me what the point is. And she's like, no, you have to tell the cucumber story. You got to do the cucumber story. It's the best story. You go tell that cucumber story.
Honestly, I didn't know how to thank you. And I thought, what can I buy you? I thought the best thing is...
How did all of you get here at cucumber? See, I was wandering around for 45 minutes. I didn't see a single
worry.
Unreal. Somebody needs to send me that video picture.
Yeah.
I would honestly take this with me, but I think you are foreboding from taking.
Can I just ask Louise Graham to stand up?
Oh.
Louise. Wow, welcome. I don't know how you're going to say the punchline now. Oh my God.
Just toss it, I'll catch it.
It's like Harvey's Festival.
Yes, it's cucumbers. There's cucumbers in this venue. A lot of these SCENTSY participants have gone out and purchased cucumbers, and they're waving them around. And there's a man on the stage that works for SCENTSY that people just think he is the funniest thing that anybody has ever seen. And he's, really happy to collect these cucumbers. It's making these really awkward sexual innuendos. I can't wait to hear what this cucumber punchline is going to be about. And we have somebody wearing a sequin jacket, of course. Can you imagine? I don't know where this occurred, but can you imagine what people are thinking walking around outside? Like, oh my God, this is selling wax melts. You say, oh, it's not a cult. Oh, all you anti-MLM content creators, all you whining survivors pointing out that this is a cult, always talking about how it always goes on to sexual weird stuff like cults do. Oh, wait a second. Why is everybody waving cucumbers in the air? Why is it predominantly women waving cucumbers in the air to this very strange man on stage that thinks he is very funny? Throw the cucumber, I'll catch it. I bet you will.
Oh, please.
Not if you put some moisture medley on it first. It might slip right out of your hand.
Seriously, M&S down the street is like, what in the heck just happened? What? There's some poor supply chain manager at M&S like, you're not going to believe this. We are out of cucumber. And then everybody's going to try to go and return it. Can I return my cucumber?
Literally, can I return my cucumber? Like, this is how sick this is SCENTSY. This is multi-level mark. Can I return my cucumber? So then you wonder why you're going to have a harder and harder time recruiting people into SCENTSY, even selling your wax melts, is because of behavior like this. This is somebody I believe who works at SCENTSY. He is on stage with his chest, SCENTSY World Tour. What kind of training do you think this is providing? Do you think this is a legitimate business? What is this? This is messed up. This is fantastic. And it's immemorialized on the internet. Oh, I also think I saw this guy in another video where he was pretending to be the lead singer of Oasis, I think, he's walking, everybody is laughing so hard, and it's in a small room, and he has I think he had a couple of other people, it's men. It's always like men at the front, and then doing this weird sexual shit to the predominantly female sales force. It was so creepy. So he had like a scarf around his neck, I think, and he's like walking, like he's pretending to be really cool, and all these people are just losing their minds. Like, it's the funniest thing they've ever seen. It's incredible.
Oh my God.
Jason, one lady came in with about 6 bags.
I know. How many of you have no idea? You were just told, buy a cucumber and bring it, and you're like, what? I mean, seriously.
No one questioned it.
No, never listen to your leaders ever again.
All your leaders told you to buy a cucumber. We're not going to tell you why. Just buy a cucumber. What else are you telling them to do?
Unreal.
You can carry on now. Thank you, everyone. You're welcome.
There's going to be people that wake up from SCENTSY. They'll be like, oh my God, I was there. I can't even believe it. This is such a great story, though, you know? To be in a commercial cult selling wax melts and then having been at World SCENTSY Tour and you were waving cucumbers in the air. I mean, this is the kind of humor that's going to help you deprogram and get through. You can't make this shit up. It's awesome.
Why have you gone red?
I mean, just when you think wearing a kilt is the stupidest thing, you're gonna be unreal. I don't even know what to say. So anyway, I planted some cucumbers.
It's so silly. There's nothing weird going on here at all. This is just what we do at SCENTSY World Tour. I'm so happy and grateful to be with a community of like-minded people.
If any of you have tomatoes. You just brought those just for throwing. We didn't know we made them. The other thing I plant is tomatoes. Because I love tomatoes, and I love to slice tomato and eat them with salt and pepper. It's so good. I don't even know how anyway.
It's just these it's like these narcissists that are involved in multi-level marketing companies that just love attention, and they just say the most ridiculous things at these events. And this is just another example of this. What is the point of this? This is just absurd. It's also fantastic.
So this is true story. I didn't make this up for effect. But this spring I planted tomatoes and cucumber plants, 2 of each, and I fed them and watered them, little plant food, little water, and then I put the sprinkler in between to water them. And it was honestly 3 days later that I went out and I looked at my little vegetable garden and I was like, oh crap. Because the cucumbers were dead beyond revival. They, like, I don't know how they got that shriveled that quickly. Gone. But the tomato plants, they were fine, and they kept growing all through the summer, and then I had wonderful, delicious tomatoes. My wife hates tomatoes, won't eat them. And so there's a lot of pressure on me this spring to either grow some cucumbers or glue some on. Yeah. So actually, this is fantastic because all of you who brought a cucumber will now remember you do not want to be the cucumber. That's a good visualization. When you get home and somebody that you love or care about is like, "Why do you have a cucumber?" And you're like, "Well, we're not supposed to be one." That's a reminder.
Wow, because this guy tried to grow cucumbers, and after 3 days, it's almost like he came. It's like he's like, ah, and then, oh, my cucumbers are shriveled. I don't think there's something that isn't adding up for this story for me. I don't know. What do you think here? There's some pieces to this story that are missing.
Yeah, they handed these out. Just tell them. I don't know. I handed them out. Here's the punchline. Hopefully, the people who convinced you to bring cucumbers today told you the punchline. Here's the punchline. I don't know why the cucumbers died. I honestly don't. I did the same exact things to them that I did to the tomatoes, and somehow the tomatoes thrived and the cucumbers didn't. I don't know. But today at World Tour, we want to do something a bit different. We want to tell you exactly how to grow a successful, thriving SCENTSY business. I've been
a tomato, but not a cucumber.
Blessed to be at SCENTSY now for 15 years, and I will never forget this date in my 15.
He's been at this for 15 years, and this is the best that he has to come up with. This is his speech. I wonder if he's been doing this for 15 years. If he has been doing this for 15 years, does he ever do it with the moisture medley too? I bring back the moisture medley. We got to see some moisture medley action.
In your career at SCENTSY. And Holly's been with SCENTSY since 2017 and other direct sales companies as well. And so we have seen really successful tomato plants, lots of them. And we've identified some consistent patterns of behavior, some things that the successful growing ones do consistently over time that we can share with you and help you grow in your garden as well.
There's things that just aren't adding up. So if you're going to be, and he may, like, to his credit, we still have a couple minutes left of this video, but to me, if you're going to be doing the exact same thing to 2 different vegetables or fruits, is tomato a vegetable or a fruit? Let's just say they're vegetables, but I'm open. Let's just say they're your vegetable garden. He's done the exact same thing with 2 different vegetables, but one didn't work. Well, that would make sense because you can't be doing the exact same thing and expect the same results. If something is a completely different vegetable, it might require something different. Maybe you had the sprinkler right between them, if this story ever happened. So maybe it was too much water or not enough water, maybe whatever plant food he used, again, if this story even occurred, to do the exact same thing. Well, it sounds like the strategy he used was effective for growing tomatoes, but it was not effective for growing cucumbers. Maybe if he applied a cucumber growing strategy, he'd have a healthy crop of cucumbers, and he wouldn't have to ask a bunch of women year after year to buy cucumbers and then wave them in the air when he's on stage making a presentation. So to compare growing a SCENTSY business with growing healthy tomatoes versus what? Another direct sales company, which is still a multi-level marketing pyramid scheme. That's the cucumber that's dying. Or is he referring to people in your downline, in your company, some that are growing and others are dying, shriveled? What is the point? What is the punchline of this story? Why cucumbers? Because he tried to grow cucumbers?
Many of the ideas that you'll hear today are not new, or they're not really groundbreaking, and that's okay, because we want to focus in on simple behaviors that everyone can do with consistency over
This guy is creepy as fuck.
time. Patterns that work. So why, please somebody tell me that this worked. And then what was the cucumber analogy?
We don't know, because you make no sense. This is disgusting. This is for SCENTSY wax melts. You think their spouses are going to be like, oh yeah, I'm so glad you went to this. And you had this guy on stage telling, oh, this is so funny. This is disturbing. This is sound business advice. How is this going to grow your SCENTSY business?
Don't be a cucumber, because we don't know why the cucumbers died. But after today...
You don't know why the cucumber died. Your own story failed. Your own story. A flaccid, limp, pale, shriveling, cold water in the lake, up and inside sucker, pucker, sphincter failed. You couldn't figure out why your cucumber died. There's supposed to be like a realization. The moral of the story is, oh, I did or I didn't do this to the cucumber. You just have no idea. So you're telling people don't be like the cucumber. Well, how can you be like the cucumber? You don't even know why the cucumber died, even though you were responsible for it. This doesn't even make any sense.
Yes, and you'll know exactly how to grow just like a tomato. Yeah, you're going to know exactly what you need to do to be successful. And oh, look at that. Oh, pretty. That's nice. Now, we sort of want to identify where we're starting from in this whole process of growth and development.
That was it. That was the section that was posted publicly on Facebook of this guy's incredible speech about cucumbers. Doesn't make any sense at all. I thought there was going to be at least an attempt at this, at the punchline. I thought there was going to be this, I don't know, like trying to weave in something. This just fell flat. There was no point to this at all. I don't even believe that he tried to grow a cucumber or a tomato. Just the way he described putting a sprinkler and then he comes out, it's shriveled. I mean, can you imagine seeing some guy out there? He's actually bent over. I like to play this out in my head and see, okay, all right. I don't even know what this guy's name is, but he's like this. Your neighbor's like, hey, Bob, what's the matter? And he says, my cucumber is shriveled, but my tomatoes are growing like so well. Vegetables don't grow like that. You're not going to see it. It's like they don't shrivel. I mean, like your cucumber, I don't think it would grow at all. I don't think it would immediately go from, the state of planting it to just shriveling. And then your tomato is just growing. There's a lot of things that I just think are quite suspicious about this story. I don't think, it's my opinion, that this training is absolutely useless to help anybody grow their SCENTSY business. But hey, that's just my opinion, allegedly in my opinion.